What's going on, everybody? Mark Fleetwood here. Welcome back to the Daily Grind Trader. Today, I'm going to give you a Bitcoin price analysis and a long-term prediction that may be wilder than anything that you've heard. But I will back it up with actual analysis and show you the one thing that you have to change on your chart so that you can see things much clearer when it comes to charting cryptocurrencies. With that being said, guys, stay tuned. I'm going to tell you all about it. Alright everybody, before we get started, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I simply share my technical analysis so that you can use it as you see fit. With that being said, you manage your own money and you manage your own risk. If you like these videos, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. We are approaching the 1,000 subscriber benchmark, and at that point, I can become monetized and really start putting more into the channel. I also will have the biggest giveaway that I've ever done at 1,000 subs. I did a 100 Raven coin giveaway for 100 subs and a 500 Raven coin giveaway for 500 subs. The 1,000 sub giveaway will be much greater than both of those two combined. It will be a big giveaway, and I'm excited to do it. So share this with your friends, your family, have them subscribe, and then you will be able to get entered into this giveaway. So we're going to hop into the chart for Bitcoin. I'm going to show you why I believe there could be a massive move that everyone is missing. So this is Bitcoin on a standard chart, and your standard scale on a chart is going to be a linear chart. It's a dollar to dollar to dollar increment. And what happens is, if you see this back here, this is the COVID dump all the way back here, March of 2020. And you can't really make a trend line from here, because in order to make a trend line to go to where the bottom of the to where we broke out of our uptrend, we know we broke our uptrend back here when we had that big dump. But you see, you run through all the price action. You kind of just run through it all. Now what you want to do to make crypto easier to chart, because there are such massive moves with crypto, you switch this, hit this button here, and toggle it to a log scale. A logarithmic scale makes it so instead of it being a dollar to dollar, it's percent to percent. It's 1% to 1% to 1%. Because we know a $20 move on a $20 asset is a much bigger move. That's a 100% move. It's much bigger than a $20 move on a $1,000 asset. It's a very small move. It's minute. So this will show you with the log scale a much different look. Now once I zoom this all in, get it back to where we want it, you will see that on the log scale, this trend line works perfectly in line from the March dump. And this is where most people, general consensus is that the bull market started after this dump, and we went bull from 2020 on. And you can see now on the log scale, everything makes sense. And you can see this was our first big down. This is our first big down move. This was our summer low. And then our up moves start to get smaller and smaller. And as you see this, now it makes more sense that we start to fall through the uptrend. The moves start to get weaker. And you will see, if I put the volume up, that the volume was also getting weaker. We have a weakening volume on this rise up. So we had this strong volume buying. This whole time here was strong volume. You see these big green spikes of volume. And since this peak, we've been low volume this whole time. Now that's going to be important to know. Low volume this whole time. So through the magic of editing, I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to come back and show you what I believe the current pattern is and why it's so important. So here's the draw. Here is the wild prediction that I don't think anybody is seeing. I believe that we are in a long-term distribution phase, in which case we are very close to getting to the point where we're going to have a large upswing, and people are going to get really excited because we're going to push all the way back towards 60 to 70K, and this would be sometime in May. Time frames are subject to change, but let's just say by middle of May, we get into a nice big upswing, and then we have this distribution up top again where we had the same thing we had here and the same thing we had here, where we fight to stay near this peak, but we keep losing ground, and then we dump. And then by the time we get down to November, we are looking at a sub 20K Bitcoin before the end of November. So somewhere in that range. And that puts us right back on this support line here. It will be a big triple top. And this, I believe, is going to be the most likely scenario to play out. I think people are going to get excited, and there's going to be kind of a rug pull where there's going to be massive exiting and then a new accumulation phase then around 18 to 20K, where more and more institutional money is going to jump in. Government is going to jump in hard. Bitcoin is going to become that massive mass adoption phase, but people aren't going to do it near the top. Institutions aren't going to do it near the top. Big banks aren't going to do it near the top. And of course, this isn't a top for good. Once this happens and we start a new phase, a new uptrend from 18 instead of starting it from 3, now we're looking at $100,000 plus, $200,000 plus. Now you're looking, you know, the next run up will be $200,000 easy. But right now, I think this is actually going to be something that most people aren't seeing and most people aren't going to be aware of. On a log scale, first and foremost, put crypto on a log scale and you will be surprised at just how much easier it is to read. This distribution phase here, this whole distribution phase here makes sense because of the fact that we've had diminishing volume since the first time it sold down. Since the first time we had the massive sell-off back in May, we have never gotten buying or selling volume anywhere near what we had the whole run up. So this tells you that you're in a phase, you're not in a market up or a market down. There would be strong volume one way or the other, and it's not there. We are in a consolidation. This has been a long-term consolidation, and I believe it's a long-term distribution phase that will run its course all the way down to sub 20K before this year is out. So that's my prediction. By November of 2022, Bitcoin will be sub $20,000. The stock market will have dumped to its bottom as well. And we will have smart money. People who are saving now, people who are putting their money aside will be millionaires within 3 years, because getting into Bitcoin at $19,000 or $20,000 will be the move of a lifetime. And I believe it's going to happen, but first, there's going to be a lot of excited people buying in at 60K again, thinking that this time it's going to be the time that this goes to 100, and it's not there yet. A lot of people are going to get hosed before smart money gets in down here. So with that being said, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed. And as always, until next time, peace.